And a very good evening to you, and welcome to Carraig Álainn GAA Club in the beautiful county of Leitrim. We are here to celebrate a very important anniversary, the Ruby anniversary of what is now the surroundings and the buildings that are attached to this great club in the county of Leitrim. And August Bank Holiday weekend is the celebration time for everybody in this parish, for everybody in this area, and for everybody in this town. And I'm joined by a number of people tonight to explore and extend what exactly is on offer in that coming weekend. And the first person we meet tonight is Michael Riley. And Michael, you're the chairman of the club?
Yes, chairman of the club, and you're very welcome here to Carraig Álainn.
Thank you very much, thank you. Looking at an event such as this, it's a good time to be a chairman because you have something to look forward to, you have something to develop, you have something to really focus on.
Well, we regard ourselves as a very much part of the community. This club is involved in all sorts of community events from nursery right up to active age, and this is just another way of getting old teammates and friends back together again.
Now this is the 40th anniversary of the Ruby celebration of what's here in what is your fabulous clubhouse, but of course the club goes back much further than that.
Well, originally started in 1889, but the modern club underage started in 1972 and the senior club started in 1977. And developed from that, within 2 years we had purchased this grounds that we're standing on now, and the club and grounds were developed and opened officially by Páirc McGarty in 1984.
One of the all-time greats.
One of the all-time greats, unfortunately didn't get an All-Ireland medal, but certainly one of the all-time greats.
Now I suppose when you look at what you're developing and what you propose, fundraising is obviously very crucial to GAA clubs, particularly rural GAA clubs.
Very difficult. It's an absolute necessity for all clubs now. We, same as every other club, we have massive numbers now of underage, 2 senior teams, 8 underage teams, so you need a lot of money coming in. Fortunately, our lotto first prize worth 20,000 at the moment is going fairly well for us, but it's an absolute necessity to get in money nowadays.
Condolan, like Michael, you and I go back a long way.
Yes, indeed.
Your earliest memories of the club here?
Yeah, well, my earliest memory was actually playing juvenile football at under 12 and under 14. That was way back in the early 70s. And as we were reaching then the ages of 16 or 17, there was no prospect, or there looked like there wasn't going to be a prospect for us to play adult football. But the people, the mentors ahead of us at that time, they saw fit to have a junior club established, and that gave us adult football at the time, which was brilliant because it meant that it retained our connection with Carraig Álainn, even though many of us headed away to work or to college. So yeah, that was the start of playing football, and I was glad and happy to play football throughout the 70s, the 80s. We were successful. We undertook many tours at the time. There's a lot of emigration, and we visited our friends from Carraig Álainn Club and other clubs in London. We went to a tournament down in Kerry, the 4 Provinces tournament. We won that tournament against clubs from the 4 provinces. We went to America and spent 2 weeks out in America, played 7 games out there. So it was a very, very exciting time to be involved with football in Carraig Álainn.
Do you have a recollection or can you recall the actual official opening of this particular unit?
I do.
40 years ago?
Yeah, I was secretary of the park committee at the time, so I got roped into doing a good bit of the work. Quite happy to do it at the time, come back to live in Carraig Álainn. So yeah, a lot of organisation to get the pitch and the facilities finished, ready for the day. We had Cavan and Leitrim, we had Longford and Leitrim play the county match. We needed to have the good facilities available for them. We played Drumrally, a local club here, in the club game. We beat them well. But the day also was a day of pageantry because we had the local bands, school bands. They paraded the teams around the pitch. We had the stand from which the dignitaries spoke. As Michael said, Páirc McGarty, he opened it. A footballer and well acknowledged as being the right person to do the job at the time.
Now, looking back over 40 years, there is a commemorative booklet being prepared for the August Bank Holiday weekend. I know you're a contributor to that, so it's important to recognise all of things that have happened in 40 years.
Yes, and we did a history in 1984, but there has been a history done since, and all of the things that we knew and were on top of our minds then, and photographs, we've put that together in a booklet to try and mark the beginning of the next 40 years. So that goes on sale and will be launched on August Bank Holiday weekend. So that should be a really good read, an exciting read, and will bring back memories for lots of people.
And plenty for the diaspora as well, of course.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, very much so, yeah. So they will see their names there as well, you know.
Bernie Dolan, everywhere we look, everywhere we read, healthy clubs, healthy living, positive living, mental health issues. You have a very healthy club here.
We have, yes. We were formed in 2019. We started off a very difficult time for starting was the pandemic. We had plans and plans and plans, and they all changed in the space of a month. And we were arranging to have meals delivered and do all the things that happened during COVID. But obviously then when COVID passed over, we have a huge diverse range of things that we do now.
And what is your primary role?
Our primary role within the community is to look after those who maybe, I don't like using the word isolation, but maybe aren't as involved as they would like to be. Or, you know, the club itself caters for football. That's the function of the club. So after that, we look after all the other needs, and we like to think that we do of not just club members, but community. It's all about community.
And are you getting buy-in, which is very important?
Massive buy-in. Volunteers, I suppose, is always, you can't do anything if you haven't got the volunteers. Our Healthy Club, which is like a little arm of the club itself, has 35 volunteers on the committee. That's a very large committee, I think, in anybody's book. But we all do something. Some of us do less than others. We all function, and each person within that group is as important as each other.
Is it fair to say that within your club, like every other club, you would have people who would have a variety of issues? But the fact that they know that their issues could be dealt with within the club has to be an advantage, surely.
Absolutely, and I think because of the number of volunteers that we have, you see, the volunteers themselves all have different attributes and strengths, and a lot of people might come to me for one thing, but they will go to somebody else for something else if they want to, to highlight something. It might be just to talk about our men's, maybe our older men aren't being looked after, and we can do something for them. So there's a space for everybody.
Brilliant. Aisling Sheridan, ladies play a huge role nowadays in rural clubs and at county level and at all levels, and Leitrim have been very successful over the last number of years, but you're the chair of St. Joseph's, which is, I think, an amalgamation of two clubs?
Yeah, amalgamation of Carraig Álainn and Havas, and we have from under 8s up to senior level. We have two girls playing in the All-Ireland final, Brona O'Rourke and Claire Owens, and it's massive. It's just massive for the whole community.
And are they iconic within the club? Youngsters looking up at them, perhaps?
Yes, very much.
Role models?
Role models, yes, very much so.
And how are you finding the ladies' football and the whole aspect of integration?
Well, the ladies' football is growing and growing every year. I have to say, without the likes of Carraig Álainn and of us, we have the full facility, use of their pitches, gyms, everything. It makes it so much easier for the ladies to keep going.
Well, Michael, Con, Bernie and Aisling, thank you very much for your time. We're going to find out a little bit more now about the weekend events, and we have one very special guest to meet. So let's go and find out who that guest is. Well, this is what the fuss is all about. And the fuss is, of course, this beautiful thoroughbred animal that's next to me. Not in a position to speak to us this evening, but the owner is, and that's Páirc Álainn. And Páirc, tell us a little bit about this animal beside me and a possible name.
She's Bracken Trixie, and she's, I don't know, about a year and a half old. And I was asked by Michael Riley there back about a month and a half ago would I have something quiet to do this job, and I said I had, and so there she is.
And looking ahead, it's an exciting time, probably not for Trixie, but for everybody in Carraig Álainn.
Yeah, absolutely, and so hopefully she'll do what she has to do in my square maybe.
Well, we'll have to find out exactly what she has to do. And Anne-Marie O'Rourke, you can tell us what Trixie has to do and why Trixie's involved and why Trixie is probably the main guest of the weekend.
Well, this is an exciting time for Carraig Álainn GAA. We decided to do a bit of fundraising, and we come up with this idea of Moo-Poo, a novel idea for Carraig Álainn. So the idea is sell the tickets, mark out the pitch with the squares, and wherever Trixie does her performance, that's the square that'll win up to €1,000. So it's causing a bit of excitement in the town and the surrounding areas.
Are there any special dietary requirements prior to the event?
Well, I don't know. You don't want her. You want good solid dung anyway. That's all I know.
So who will be the judges, or are there competition rules, or how is this going to work?
Well, we are going to ask 2 members of our local Mocker team to come out, and they will be they'll be very non-biased, so they will be here on the day for how long it takes, hopefully not too long, and they will be judging Trixie's performance.
And it's this field that we're on at the moment that's going to be divided up into, and what size are these squares?
The squares, we're hoping to have squares of about a metre by a metre wide, so and then they'll be all individually marked, not necessarily one, there'll be random squares, so on the day wherever Trixie does her business, that's the square that'll win.
And how can the general public get involved in this?
The general public, tickets are on sale through the local GAA club, our club members, and you can also buy a ticket on ClubSpot. Ticket prices are €10.
Benny O'Rourke, you're involved at underage level, and it's obviously an exciting time to be involved with Carraig Álainn Club because it's seen as a progression. The population of the town and surrounds are increasing, so obviously your club members will increase accordingly.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Over the last couple of years our underage has increased dramatically, so it's fantastic to see, from under 7s to right through to under 17s. We could have approximately 100 kids here at any given time on a Saturday morning from our nursery, under 9s, under 11s. It's absolutely brilliant to see here on a Saturday morning so many kids out here playing football.
So this is a Friday and Saturday event, and obviously you're going to commemorate the 40 years of this fabulous building that's behind us, but you have a special celebration in Mitchell's in the town where you're honouring, is it 80, 82 and 84 teams?
82 and 84 teams, yes, and on the Friday night here we have an under 17 tournament, the Michael Kenny tournament, and on the Saturday here we have an under 13, the Gary Coyne tournament here on the Saturday, so there's a full activity of football over the weekend, so there is here.
Benny, it's lovely to talk to you. It's lovely to talk to you, Anne-Marie, and of course, Páirc. That about wraps it up for now from lovely Carraig Álainn. So from Trixie, Bracken Trixie and myself, a very good evening.